Hi fellows, in this video we're gonna replace this radio with an Android screen. Let's jump straight into it. First things first, I'm gonna take out this panel. Boom, this one is out. Now I have 3 bolts here that I need to undo. Okay, with those bolts out of here, now we need to take out this panel and the center console, the entire center console. We need to undo this part first, and then this one will come out. But at the bottom of both panels, there are a lot of clips in place and some screws. Let me show you how to get to those. So to take the armrest out, there is one screw here and one screw here, and same on the other side. And in the back, I found out that someone else took out already this bolt from here and never put it back, so the armrest is ready to go up now. I have my handbrake fully up, and I'm just gonna lift the entire armrest and it will pop out from here. Just like this. There you go. The only thing is there is a plug here for the cigarette lighter, so I'm gonna undo this plug. I've unplugged the cigarette lighter. Now this can go in the back. And look at this, I even found £2.05 there. I'm getting paid for this job now. Now we carry on by taking this panel out. So to do that, we have a few more clips at the bottom of it to take out. On this side again, one clip is missing, so we have only one to undo. So there is another clip just here behind this panel under the steering wheel, so we'll have to take this out as well. Take this panel out, if I can, with my hands. That's it. And then it has one screw here. And now that's it. You see those clips were covered by the panel under the steering wheel, so now this one can unclip. But I believe there are a few more clips at the top here. There you go. Alright, so I'll just have to wiggle this a bit. And take it out from this corner. And from here. And go a bit towards the left side. And here it comes. Okay, now we have 2 bolts at the bottom of the radio. 2 little bolts I took out. Now it should unclip like this. And that's it, I think it popped out. I will check it out now. One plug here. So the radio is out, all the plugs have been unplugged, and I have the hazard slide button out as well. And yeah, this is the new screen. Now let's see how the fascia comes. Ooh, look at that, this is our new fascia. So this is how the screen is gonna sit in the fascia. I got the screws for it too. Now we'll start with the main cable, which is this one, and it goes in right here next to the fuse. That's it, it clicked in place. I'm gonna plug this antenna, radio antenna, right here in its place. Auxiliary connections, which is this one, bottom right corner. The fan right here, just plug in this black connection. The rear view camera clicked in place. I'll plug in the two antennas. Now we have the two USB ports. From the old radio, I will need those two vents. They will need to go in the new fascia. So I will just unplug them. Here the bolt will line up with the bolt groove, but on this side, look at that. The groove where the bolt should go is missing the hole quite a bit. In the front, this is how it should look like. It's quite well, but yeah, I'll need to find a solution. I'll put the first bolt in, but then I'll have to find a solution for the other side. So I came up with a solution to break one of these and use it as a washer that will press on this side to keep it in place. So this is my washer. Let's see if I can put it there and hold the grills on this side where the holes don't really align. Yeah, so I think my solution works quite well. It keeps all this side in place here. Look at that. And now they are secure. The only thing left to install is the hazard light button. This one aligned. All that's left now is to install it tomorrow. Okay folks, I have the screen in the car now and I'm gonna plug it in. The plugs are color coded a bit and there is only one way they will go, so you can't mess this up. I have the two antennas that I will glue them on here. They're the connection to the clock screen. I don't have a Connect 2 kit, so I won't plug that screen for now. In fact, I'm gonna leave the USB slots in there as well. I'm only gonna bring out the microphone and then we're gonna put it in place. So let's give it a try. Nice, it came on. I'm gonna check the basic functionalities of the screen to make sure it works. Yeah, it works really nice. Already. That's it. Yeah. That will go in just like this. Little thing inside. Managed to put that little bastard back in there. On the other side I have only one plug on this left bottom, and I also put back the cover around the gear shifter as well. Now we move to the armrest. That's it. Everything lined up now. I think it's in place. I'm gonna put the little screws at the bottom here on each side now, and then the screws at the back. The cover is on now. It looks really good. So if you want to see what this baby can do, stay tuned for my next video, and until then I'll leave you with my happy dance.
Hey, why are you living in the USA? It is not the place to stay. Hey, all this shit in my glass, it's a May. Don't tell me that you are gay.
set of wing mirror LEDs comes with this plastic panel removal tool. It's quite useful, you're not going to scratch anything or damage anything. But I'm going to use my orange one since we'll match my channel colors a bit better. So I'm going to start removing the panels at the bottom of the cover first. You can probably see the clips at the bottom. Now we just need to work our way around the back here.
Once this area with green is all unclipped, now I'm gonna push the cover forward in the direction the cart moves. That's because there are 2 more clips in the middle of the cover. You can see them in this picture.
And there you go, it popped out. Once it's popping out like this, don't just grab it out because it has a wire to those LEDs which are stuck on the cover. So I'm going to show you from behind. You need to unplug the LEDs by just pressing in the middle and then pull it out, pull it off of it, and that's it. So I grabbed my screwdriver which has a T20 Torx head on it, and now I'm going to undo those 3 screws. So let's go on with the first one, third one off. Now I can remove this wing mirror indicator. Quite yellow, isn't it? I'm so glad I'm replacing it. Look at that. And now let's install it in here. If it doesn't fit right, you probably got the wrong side one, but this one looks like it's gonna fit right. Just needs to be pushed into place a bit. Now it wants the screws back in, so let's go ahead with that. This is the first one. And look at that. Let's put it on and see how it looks on the car. We need to plug the LEDs in first, just like that. Nice, they're plugged in now. Now let's put the cover on. When I'm putting it back, I'm just gonna go straight in like this and then try to clip it in everywhere, and this is it. Now let's signal.
Special thanks to Scott who suggested me this upgrade, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and tell me what you think about it in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one.
These are the lights that I've ordered online. I think they're a bit too big for my car. Yeah, I think I want to trim it about this much. So let's cut it first. I'm just gonna snap it from here. Hopefully it's gonna snap in a nice clean line. If not, yeah, I think that snapped really well there. Now I'm gonna measure how much of this plastic bit I need. Now I'll mark it here. Then I'm gonna measure how much of this metal housing I need. And again I will make a mark. And I'll use my hacksaw to cut it. Ta-da! Now the LED fits into the metal housing, and this plastic protection bit goes right on top of it. Then you just slide it on top like this, and at the end, of course, it has those mounting brackets. And like this. Now this is the complete assembly. I've made 2 of them. Also, I super glued the LEDs inside the metal housing so they won't rattle when I'm driving. Let's install them on the car now. So I've made the cable longer for this light, and now I will have to feed the cable through there. And I came up with this solution. I'll just use the remaining metal housing to feed my wire. And success. So we have the wire on this side now. Let's fix that light in place and then we carry on this side. Okay, so my light will sit right here under the glove box. Yeah, so I'm gonna glue it in place right now. I'm gonna tuck it in right behind this structure here. As you can see, this is the footwell area and the cable is nowhere to reach. I want all my wires hidden behind this panel, so I'm gonna take it off for now. I will install all the wires there, then we're gonna put it back on. I need to take off this panel first, and then there is a small screw that I need to undo. Okay, this panel is off. I'm gonna tuck in the cable through here, and I can even spin it around it a bit. Okay, so I have the wire from the other side here. I'm gonna make this light cable a bit longer too. And I'm gonna install this on and off switch just in case the lights will be too bright sometimes when trying to have a Netflix and chill inside the car here. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it will bother me in any way, so I'm gonna install it right here. Now the nut can go in the back. I'm really happy with that. So I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna draw power from. That's from this number 35 fuse, which is the radio fuse. This is how I've plugged in my cables onto the fuse. Now I have the button here, I have the main power, I have the light on the passenger side, and I have to install the light on the driver side. But before that, I'm gonna boot back that panel here, because this light goes on the bottom of it, and then I'm just gonna connect the wires right here at the bottom and tuck them in inside here behind that panel. Let's do that. Panel in the gap here, and as you can see, my button is well above this edge, so it's all good. So I've connected both the negatives of the main power and the button together, and now I have the two ends of the circuit here, and I've connected the lights positive together and the lights negative together, and now I'm just gonna connect the positive to one end of the circuit and the negative to the other end of the circuit, and that's it. Okay. Ow! I'm gonna put those connectors in place. When I take this panel off, so I'll be able to disconnect the wire from here and the light come off with the panel while the wire stays behind. The other negative. What I'm gonna do to them is to use some more tape and just tape them like this right here on the ceiling so they don't flap about. But first I wanna check if everything works. Nothing works at the moment. I will figure out in a minute why. So in thinking what could I have done wrong, I've realized that the ends of the fuse are not negative and positive, but they are both positive. So I've connected just the positive of my wires to the fuse, and now I'm going to show you how my lights come on. You see, I just needed a ground, a negative, and I can have a negative even on my pedal. The light there works too. So obviously I can't connect this wire to my pedals, but I will just have to find the ground somewhere else. That bolt there next to the fuse box, right there. I'm gonna connect my ground to it. Yeah, so this is the situation now. I put my brown cable there, that's my ground, on that bolt, and I have my positive wire to the radio fuse. And that's it, all the wires are tucked in. You can't really see them. It's all tucked away, it's all nicely hidden. Let me show you an overview. Let's give it a go. Wow, they're nice. They're really nice, but they're really bright, like really bright. I'm really glad that I put this switch there so I can switch them off like this, because they're really bright. Like I'm surprised how bright they are. Look how shiny my pedals are, but they're nice. I like them. Let me know what do you think about this job, and if you like the outcome, give this video a like. Leave a comment down below what do you think about this job and about my rookie mistake. You're allowed to roast me in the comments if you want. Yeah, and subscribe to my channel, that would help me a lot. Because the camera will be placed right here under this plastic panel. We will have to remove the panel, screw the camera on it and run all the wires through it. We have to take the side plastic panels too, because the middle one is clipped on each side behind the side ones. So yeah, so I'm gonna open the boot. These two, they come off quite easily, just like this. I'm gonna disconnect all the plugs for the lights, and then I'm gonna undo all the nuts. The side panels have 3 bolts each, all of them quite accessible with a ratchet, 8mm socket and an extension. That one, it can be reached through this hole. And then there are basically 10 nuts that will have to be undone. One is hidden behind this thing, 2 more there, inside there you can see them, and basically same on the other side. And now I have access to that nut through this hole. I'm gonna do the same on the other side, and that's it. I have the first nut out then. Okay, I've undone all the bolts, I disconnected all the plugs, and I'm placing my screwdriver right there in order not to latch the boot. So yeah, we don't want it to latch. I'm just gonna place it down gently. That's it. It'll stay right there. And now I'm gonna take off the side ones, the side panels. The other side too. And now the middle one. Came off quite easily, but you can see there is a lot of work to do before you can undo it. This is the camera I've got from eBay. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to get this one. It came with some other wires as well, but we're gonna worry about wiring it later in the video. Now I'm just gonna install it onto my plastic panel. I'm choosing to install it in this place because there is a groove right here where this entire panel aligns with some other piece when it gets onto the car, but there is enough space for my wire to sit there as well, so that's why I'm choosing this place. I believe those lines, they go in exactly in the way the car moves, and since I won't be putting this exactly in the middle, I don't want my camera exactly parallel with those lines, but I want it a bit facing towards this side, a bit of an angle there. But as you can see, the place where I'm gonna bolt it down, it has a bit of a playing. So if I'm placing my screws exactly in the middle here, later on I will be able to move this couple of millimeters left or right. It won't be easy to adjust it later. That's why I'm gonna try to screw it in place very well now. Now I'm gonna tighten those side bolts. This will lock the adjustment up and down in place. I want my wires to come out where the wires of the other plugs come out. So I'm gonna feed the wires underneath one of the seals, just like this. So now I'm gonna put the main panel back on and feed my wires through here for the corresponding seals. So while I'm looking at it now, I think it might require turning a bit more towards that side, just a tiny bit more. Because in order to adjust it later, I will have to take everything off the car again, all those panels. So I don't want to do that. I just want to adjust it right now. So I hope this is last time when I put this panel on, and I'll keep my fingers crossed. Now I'm gonna put all the nuts in and secure all the panels. All the plastic panels are in place, the nuts are tightened, and everything is plugged back in. I have the ends of my camera right here, and I've got here the other cables I've got with the camera. Those ends, they will stay with the camera. I'll show you later in the video how to deal with those. This red wire will stay somewhere close to the camera as well. And this end will go all the way in front to the screen. But also this one, the black wire, which is the ground wire. And I've made another bit of cable here, which is black, same as this one. This one is just to add a bit more length to my ground. So first I have to take this trim off. I'm gonna use my prying tools to pry it out. Without this bit in the middle, I can crack this bit open. It has clips on this side all the way here. You can see this clip here, and I've unclipped it already a bit. And it cracked open along this side here. So I can feed my wires through here, and then all the way to somewhere here. The top is all filled in as well. There is no holes, nothing, no space to put my wires through. So I'm just gonna make a hole here, put my wires through, and then feed them through the rubber hinge. So I'm just gonna add my spare wire to the ground to make it longer, and then I'll feed it through. I fed my AV cable, which is this one, along with the extra wire I made just for the ground, through here and here, in this gap where I cracked the panel. Next step will be to make a hole right here. Now I can clip this back in. I'm just gonna press the clips back in. I can also put this edge back in, this middle part. What I'm gonna do now, just to be able to feed this through there, I'm gonna cut the cable to be a bit more slip, and I will solder it when I'm reaching the screen. So I'm just gonna cut it there. Only 3 wires, I need to rewire. No way there is, I will be able to feed this through if I don't do this. So what I'm gonna do now is to tape them really well. That's it. I put some lubricant as well in there. Now I should be able to feed this through. Let's see. I'm not going too harsh, I'm just going very lightly because I don't want to poke any wires. There you go, I have my wires right there. Okay, let's go with the first one. Yes baby, that's it. Now the second one. That's about it. I'm just gonna feed the entire length of this wire through, and then I'm gonna put this back on. Done with the top part. The bottom part, I'll have to bring those 2 wires through there, right behind this panel, and this panel comes off quite easily. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna feed my cables there. I've put my wires through here, just behind this panel, and now I have my wires in the car. What I'm gonna do now is to add more wire to this earth. If you remember, this is my earth, and I'm gonna feed my AV cable to the screen. find an earth somewhere around the fuse box for the earth wire. For that I need to take off this panel, then undo this screw and take the panel off. Quite easily, if you just put your hands under it, it will just come off. That's it. I prepared my earth wire, and the place where I'm gonna put my earth wire is right there on this bolt. The earth wire is done. Now would be a good moment to splice the AV plug back to the wire. Screen. And the screen comes off just like this. Now I will feed my wire, my AV wire, through here, just like this. I'll push it in behind this plastic and through there. Just gonna push it in just like that until I have enough here. Just like this. And put in the little screw. Now I'm gonna put back here this panel. I'm gonna connect the AV cable from the camera, and I have two wires here. I have this red wire which will go to this wire labeled reverse. We're gonna isolate this thing. So I found one which is labeled camera in, so it's probably this one, I'm thinking. I'm gonna connect it right now. That's it. I'm gonna rest it back there a bit, and now we're gonna connect everything on the camera and then we give it a try. The AV plug and AV socket, I guess, go in together like that. Power supply, which will go in there. This is the earth, as is the black cable, and I'm gonna connect it to my earth, the one I put everywhere to the car. The only thing that remains to connect now are those two wires, my positive from the main supply and then this red wire from the camera video cable. So those two, I'll connect them together, and then I'll connect them to the positive wire of my reverse lamp. That's what's gonna energize the entire circuit and it will make it work. So I'm just gonna splice those together first. Now this is really a challenge because this is my reverse lamp plug and I'll have to connect my wires onto the positive terminal here. So let's see if I can do that without breaking the plug. I'll put the plug back in, obviously. That's it. Okay, so let's see what we have done all day. I'm gonna put it in reverse now and let's see if it comes on. Ooh, and we see my neighbor's house. Works quite nice, but I don't know what's this thing here. Oh, I don't need that. I'm gonna tuck in all the cables properly. I don't want to see no more cables out. And then I'm gonna put the boot down and try to park with my reverse camera. Here I'm putting the 3 screws at the top of the screen back. This cap here. So let's see how centered the camera is. So I'm standing now in line with my left wheels, and now if I sit in line with my right wheels, it's about the same place on those guidelines. So I think the camera is pretty centered. Let me know what do you think about this installation in the comments section. Also let me know what else you would like to see in future videos. Actually I'm gonna install 2 of them. This is gonna be for inside the cabin view, and this one it will be front and rear view. So I'm gonna start with the one for cabin view. I'm just gonna slide it out of its mount and then stick this onto the screen. And the camera slides back in. Then I'm gonna plug it in and run the other end of its cable towards the fuse box. I'm gonna use my prime plastic tool to tuck the cable in between the screen and the ceiling. It's going pretty easy this far. And then I'm gonna start pushing it in behind the plastics. Now I'm gonna take off these two panels. Put my cable through here. And now I have my cable right at the fuse box. I will leave that there and go ahead and install the rear view and front view cameras now. I'm planning to put this camera right there behind my mirror, so when I'm driving it's not in my view. And now it's time to stick this one on, and I'm gonna stick it right there, just like that. Sticks out right here a bit, but I can live with that. I'm gonna carry on and run the cable from it to the fuse box, same as I did with the other one. And of course I've cut this thing because I'm not gonna plug it to the cigarette lighter. Now I have both cameras cables really close to the fuse box, so I can connect them to a fuse later in the video. Now I will have to install the rear camera and to run all this cable to the front one. So I just mark with a bit of tape the place where I want to put it. Now I'm gonna place this sticky double-sided pad here in the position where I want to install the camera, and then I'm gonna drill tiny holes for the screws that will come in place and keep the camera. That's it, one hole done and the other hole done. Now I'm gonna screw in the two little screws as well. Once I have adjusted the camera up and down, now I'm gonna install the little side screws that will keep it in place. Now I'm gonna use these sticky cable ties to run the cable on the back of this plastic panel and then feed the wire to the front view camera. Once I reach here, what I'm gonna do is to crack this open in order to put my cable behind it, and then put this back on. And I've done that because here I have a hole where I put my reverse camera wires through, and I'm gonna put this cable through as well, and then through the rubber hinge and then into the car. To feed the wire through this rubber hinge easier, I'm gonna cut the cable somewhere here, just like this. I'll put a drop or two of lubricant in there. Now I'm gonna tape my end of the wire on the tip of this screwdriver, and I'm gonna use this screwdriver to feed the wire through the rubber thing. I'll try to go slowly and steady, not to poke any wires. And now I can pull all this wire through. I'm gonna put the rubber thing back at the top. Now I'm gonna unclip this panel here and feed my wire through this hole, and I have my wire inside the car now. I'm gonna put the bottom of this rubber hinge in place. Then I will clip this panel back in place. Since I won't run any more wires through the hole, I'm just gonna cover this hole using some tape. This hole is covered, the wires are tucked in, and the camera is installed there. This won't be long enough to run it through all the places I want to tack it in, so I'm just going to connect this to the camera and make my way towards here, and then I'm going to run the cable same place I did with the other one. Finishes about here. Now I'm gonna splice those two ends with this bit of AV cable, and then I will tack it in, and hopefully that should make my rear view camera work. Push the cable under these plastic panels. Now all I have to connect is the power cables. I have a ground here from this bolt, and I have a positive wire from the fuse of the radio. but I can't connect the dash cams directly to those cables because those are 12 volts and the dash cams requires 5 volts. If I connect the dash cams to those, my dash cams, they will be fried. So that's why I bought separately those two hardwire kits, which will convert my 12 volts from my car into 5 volts for my dash cams. Now I'm gonna connect both positive of those little transformers to the positive wire and both of the negative wire of the little transformers to my ground. Now for each camera I'm gonna connect one of these, and the way I'm gonna connect them is the black cable to the black cable and then the other two colors together. I'm gonna do the other camera, and for this camera I have a pink and a white, and I just checked the pink with the red and white with the black is gonna turn the camera on. So I'm just gonna splice pink with red and white with black. I'm just gonna tuck them in because I don't want them to rattle when I'm driving. That's it, I hope that won't rattle when I'm driving. Now I'm gonna put this panel back. I'll put this little screw back in, then I'm gonna put back this cap as well here. I've chosen to hardwire my dash cams instead of plugging them in the cigarette lighter because, well, I have one cigarette lighter port and two dash cams. Also, I like a clean look of this area and I don't want no wires hanging about here. And as you can see, there are no cables hanging down anywhere. Now let's check the view from each camera. So the inside cabin camera is pretty bad due to low resolution and really narrow frame. I should have expected that since I only paid £17 for this camera. The good news is that this adapter cable is compatible with better cameras, so I can just take this one off, stick another one on here and then plug it in. The front camera is quite good, and the only downsides with this one are those edges where my wipers stops reaching, but even there everything is quite visible. I could have put it a bit lower from behind the rear view mirror, but I didn't want it to restrict my visibility when I'm driving. Here is a view from the rear camera, and I really can't complain much about this one because the view is quite good. That's it folks, I'm just gonna swap out the inside view camera for another one, hopefully a better one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Please leave a comment down below to say if you enjoyed this video, or to give me some feedback on what could have done better, or just to say what other sorts of videos you want to see on this channel. First we're gonna put the car on jack stands and we take off the wheels. Okay, so I have the wheels off now, and look how bad they are. They are kind of corroded, they are pitted as well, and they just generally look very bad. I'm gonna start from the center and I'm gonna make my way to the edges. And look at that, it looks better already. Now I'm gonna use a bit more finer sandpaper on all the safe surfaces I just did, and then I'm gonna clean the wheel a bit, and I'm gonna do the same with the rest, prepping them for spraying. Take all the dust I've created off the wheel. So now the main part of this video, we're gonna spray it, but before I've put a black bin bag just under the wheel so I don't make a mess on those tires, and also I'm gonna put a bag over the tire, and then I'm just gonna spray it. Just gonna push it in like this a bit. I'm gonna cover this as well with some masking tape. Okay, I'm gonna put my mask on and start to spray. Bloody hell, that looks amazing. Only 3 more wheels and that's it. I'm gonna put them back on the car in about 2 hours after letting them dry. Okay, so now they're all cured. I'm gonna put the wheels back on the car. Look how clean that looks. I'm scared not to scratch them now. So 9 pounds can of paint and 3 hours later my wheels look amazing. Let me know in the comments down below what do you think about this job, and if you enjoyed this video please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more cars content. I'm gonna start by undoing this panel and then the 3 screws that's keeping the head unit in place. And now the screen should come out very easily. If you're trying to install your new screen as well in the same time as your Connect 2, check out my screen installation video in the top right corner, in which you will see how to remove the old radio. Now I'm gonna remove the old 16-pin adapter plug just because the Connect 2 kit comes with its own. So I'm gonna unplug this. Then I'm gonna take out the antenna from here. And also the plug for steering controls, which is this one. Now that I have the original 16-pin plug out, I'm gonna salvage the radio antenna and this steering wheel control plug, and I will keep in mind the position of those wires in the plug. This is the Connect 2 device and those are the wiring looms that are coming with it. And because on this wiring loom there is no 16-pin plug, I had to buy this adapter separately to go in there. And as you can see, this wiring loom comes with a steering wheel control plug as well, but trust me, I've tried. This does not work, or not as it's intended to do, at least on my car. But I have a fix for that. So I'm gonna start assembling everything in here and then I'm gonna get back in the car and just plug it all in. So I'm gonna start with the easy one. My adapter plugs in right here. This plug connects into the device. It has actually 2 ports, but there are different sizes, so I won't be able to mess this up. This one goes in the other end. Those 2 wires, they don't do anything in my car, so I'm just gonna zip tie them right here. Now I'm gonna bring the salvage parts from the old 16-pin adapter, and that's the radio antenna, which I need to connect to the same wire on the position where this was on the old plug. And I found that is this wire for me, so I made a little space where I can connect it. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so that's all done there. Now I'm gonna connect together the wires for the steering wheel control plug, which normally will be only this one, but because this one won't work properly, I'm gonna connect to those wires the steering wheel plug I've took off the 16-pin plug old adapter. So I'm gonna start connecting together the grounds, and this brown cable is just an extension I've made from the main ground, just to have a bit more length to this cable. Next, I'm gonna connect together the cables that are labeled key 2 and key 2, and also I'm gonna connect with them this orange cable from the plug. And if you wonder which wire I should connect here from my plug, well, that's why I said earlier in the video that I need to keep in mind the position I took off these wires from the old 16-pin plug, because that position should be the same as here. So this is how I know this orange wire goes to the key 2 wires. So now I'm gonna plug in the remaining cables, which are key 1, and then this cable from my plug. Okay, that's all done, and I want to specify if this plug I've added here is not connected, it's not going to affect the system in any way. Okay, so now I'm going to go in the car and plug it all in. So I'm going to start with the main plug right there, radio antenna, and this one right here. Those two green plugs are for the clock screen, so I'm going to plug them in as well. Now the main head unit plug. Only thing that is left now are the steering wheel control plugs, and I'm gonna plug in the original one that came with the Connect to device. And as you can see, the clock screen turned right on. I'm gonna use those steering wheel buttons to adjust the date and time. The way you do this, you keep press on this button mode, and then that will start flashing. You can go through the different settings by pressing volume, and then if you want to change anything, you press channel down or up like that, and when you're done, you keep pressing mode again and it's all set. But when it comes for steering wheel control for volume or any other of those buttons, as you can see, I cannot use them, they don't work here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the screen off again and swap the original plug that Connect 2 came with to the plug I've made. Okay, so I'm just gonna disconnect this one and plug in this one now. Now let's see what we've done. We have the clock screen with the right time and date. Now let's see if our steering wheel control works. So when I press that, you see I can set them up now. I'll put on mute, I'll put this button, and that will do for now. See, the volume up and down works properly, and I can mute it from here. The only thing is I cannot change the date and time on the screen without swapping those plugs again. So that's one drawback, but I can live with that. As you will hear in a second, my radio antenna works just fine. I see where I'm directing the air coming out of the vents and the temperature. Also, I've made a hole in my glove box right there and brought out the USB ports. This one with yellow is multimedia and charging, this one is just charging. My SIM card slot. Ain't pretty, but it does the job. So this is how I've managed to install the Connect 2 in my Civic. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Also leave a comment down below to say if what I've done is even worth it. And stay tuned on the channel because the reverse camera installation is coming soon. Bye for now.